Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. We're going to get the lemon into the water like we do every single day. Bang, bang, bang. Shout out to anyone that may or may not have taken a short last night. Did talk about the fact that we're likely going to go down to 18,005 area, possibly, right? And we'll talk about why. We'll break it down, and I'm going to show you, if you just trade support or resistance, it'll really show you where you're going to go, right? It's kind of a spot-on tool. So let's break it down. Put the lemon into the water. We'll have a big sip of lemon water. Let's have a teaching moment. Let's have a learning moment. Every single day is a moment to learn. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for coming here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's get a look. I have the CPI data. We're going to go over all the different information at your beck and call. That is amazing. It is good to be alive. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here. Let's take a look at bitty Bitcoin, shall we? What a bashing. All right, so here, at least we eventually made somewhat of a shoulder, head and a shoulder, attempting to make a move to the upside here for Bitcoin. I see us still in this bull pennant, or bear pennant, sorry. Ascending triangle, right? Measured move take you the length of the pole to about 17,771. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate you all for being here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. So look, I'm looking at this bear flag right here. Just wanted to prepare it nicely. The measured move here is $17,774. If we decide to break to the downside, we're at a standstill here. Bitcoin finally did try to put in a bottom area call here. And look, that's almost an Adam and Eve double bottom there to the upside. See that? Can we get the measured move? And why am I on the 1 minute? I don't trade the 1 minute because when price action moves fast, you need a smaller time frame to figure it out. If you were in my trading group, I just want to make it clear. I'm not trying to say I am like everything I do is right and I'm always perfect. I even got stopped out of a long at 18.5. I'll make it really clear. All right. I'll admit that I got stopped out of my long. At the same time, you can always hedge a short against the long. Sometimes I can open up two trades at the same time, close the long, let the short play out. So the shorts kept cooking. Let's take a look at why I was short last night before I went to bed, kind of what I was heating. So look, if and only Bitcoin dumps, this asset pumps Bitcoin 3S on KuCoin, and Max Global has Bitcoin 3S, 4S, and 5S. This is how you turn a dump into a win. This is last night at 10. This is before it happened. This is before Bitcoin decided to take a ponied up dump, right? I wake up the next morning. The last thing I posted was the short, right? I mean, it was the wall of information that I left, right? And lo and behold, we would bang on it, and not huge, 5 or 6%, but then it would continue to rip about a total of 7 or 8% at the end of the day. It wasn't huge. You could have shorted the other coins, and you could also short a DOT3S, Matic 3S, everything follows suit. So I'll show you all the shorts are in play. So my trading group, the leading indicator is Bitcoin. When I lean short on Bitcoin, it means most of the short tokens are going to pump, right? So I'm leading you into where I believe the probability of the market is going to go, all right? Then we put an update, and I put out this idea this morning, right about here. And I was suggesting there's a chance, right? There was a chance right here, it was highly likely that we were going to dump to the downside. You see this? I'm in replay mode. So this is what you got this morning. And I was like, man, if we can't get above the zone, look for Bitcoin to dump back down to 18,399, right? And lo and behold, and then the CPI data came out, and look what it did. I mean, that's volatility at its finest. Look in 1 minute, 2 minutes, Bitcoin would go, you can't even, it would go all the way up to 19,300 or 19,034, get rejected, go all the way down, all the way back to 18,100. Can you believe that? Hit 18,000, bounce back up. Is that, no. Yeah, 18,129. I mean, insanity. This is insane price action, and it comes from the CPI data. This is what they're doing. And so if you look at food, right, food is up 0.4%. So they keep raising the interest rate. They're not changing. They think there's going to be an immediate effect. I'm telling everyone right now, all right, I'm going to say this statement clear as day. All right, number one, I'm going to run for president off of the statement that I'm making right now around 2030. If God willing and everything goes well, if I can, maybe not for president, but I would like to help the country in some way, shape, or form. Get away from people that are ignorant and that are leading us into despair. Okay. The reason why I say that is because 10 years ago, I was taught by economists and financial historians that inflation was on its way. And that if I didn't find my way out of inflation, I was going to be in a bad place. So I started buying gold and silver in 2009, 2010. My first silver and gold purchases to remove myself from holding, the dollar, right? I mean, gold and silver back then, you're talking $12. You're talking $900 an ounce, $860 an ounce, right? We have never seen those prices. I don't think we ever will again for gold and silver. Silver, they manipulate, but gold has been strong, well above $1,500. It could even go back down to $13, $14, but I don't know if it'll ever go below $1,000. I realized that it was going to take a long time to make money doing that, However, because once you do that, once you exchange your money into gold and silver, you become an investor in a way, right? You change your mindset. And so once I did that, I was like, what do I do now? And I was like, well, then I learned that people trade these assets on exchanges. And I said, so I could trade gold and silver. And then I learned about trading mining companies, Hecla Mining, Great Panther Limited, and all these fun mining companies. And then I learned that there was more mining companies on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So I found Interactive Brokers. I transferred my money. Took a couple days. Then I transferred my money. And then I started trading the Toronto Stock Exchange for about 4 to 5 years. Eventually, I learned that I could trade JDust and JDST, which were gold ETFs, electronically traded funds. They gave me 3x leverage on the price action, just like the 3L and the 3S tokens that we trade now. So I did that for 5 years, trading gold and silver. That is kind of like my trading, background. Then I would learn about Bitcoin, and I would equate Bitcoin to gold and silver. It looked a lot like gold. I had backpacks of silver and gold. I said, I can't travel with this stuff. I realized I could keep it in my mind, memorize 24 words, and I would be able to keep millions of dollars in my imagination. And I found that fascinating. I began to research it more and more. I looked about the halving. I looked at the code. And then I saw that it was probably going to be one of the world's greatest inventions in the history of mankind. Most people, I think, overlook this. I do not. And so I began accumulating Bitcoin at a mass scale, just knowing that it was going to be something big. And anytime I had any bit of money, it was Bitcoin. Savings, Bitcoin. Overtime, Bitcoin. They asked me, can you work extra tonight? Yes. I'd call my wife, hey, do you mind if I work extra? And I would just be like, that's more Bitcoin, babe. And she'd be like, okay. Anytime I had any extra overtime, anything extra in my life, it was more Bitcoin. I got a raise. I got a better life. I got a better job. I stayed in the same one-bedroom apartment. And instead of moving up in the world and buying an apartment, or renting a bigger loft so everyone could come see and look at my beautiful apartment, I stayed in the same neighborhood, the same humble beginnings, and I bought more Bitcoin with that excess wealth. You see what I'm saying? Just extending myself away from what the masses were doing, continually building a bag over and over again. And then it was 2012, 2013, 2015, 2016. By this time, I'd been telling family and friends that inflation was going to devastate their portfolios, that they needed to get out of the US dollar, that the dollar was just going to lose its value over and over and over again, that eventually they were going to be paying $10 for bread, $20 for a gallon of gas. I was saying these things 5, 10 years ago, and people thought I was insane. I was making videos about inflation a long time ago. So now when I see these numbers, as we come to the precipice of what I've been studying for the last 10 years, I'm just seeing exactly what I was told would happen and exactly where we were headed. And I did the math. I looked at it. It made perfect sense to me, and I couldn't understand why no one else could see where we were going. It was as if everyone was on this kayak going right towards a waterfall, and I could see the waterfall, and I would scream at everybody, no, don't go that way, it's going down. But nobody would listen to me. So that's why I formed the channel. That's why I became a lifer, because I said, you know what, somebody will hear me out. And you know what, now we have 36,000 beautiful people that have subscribed to the channel. We've educated numerous people throughout the world. Thousands of people have taken my beginner's course throughout the world. People come to the channel every single day, and my mission is running steady. And it's you every day that shows up. It's you every day that hits the like button. It's you that comes through every single day. This channel is more than just charts every single day, day trading, swing trading, and getting into this and that. This is about the overall picture of procuring wealth. This is about seeing the bigger landscape of what's happening in the economies throughout the world and placing yourself in the right side of history. This channel is more than the day-to-day. This channel is the universal. And that's why the lifer, because life is what everybody wants. And that's why when I picked the name Crypto Lifer, Number one, it was to dedicate yourself to something full-blown, all the way, to be a lifer, to go all in is to be a lifer, to put your whole life on the line. That's what a lifer is. That's what a lifer does. If you have a friend, you are loyal to that friend to the end of time. You will die for your friends. That's who a lifer is. A lifer isn't just a fair weather friend. A lifer is a real deal Holyfield, baby, every single time. Hit that like button if you consider yourself a lifer. If you've never let a friend behind, hit that like button. If you're there for your mom and dad, no matter what happens, hit that like button. If you love your family, even if they aren't always the best to you, hit the like button. And if you're doing everything you can to make the world a better place every day and to make yourself better, hit that like button. So, as we get back into this, I just want to make it really clear that I've been saying that inflation is not transitory. And I'm not on either side of the rent. And that's when you say that, you become, oh, he's one of those or one of these. I'm not one of those or those. I'm not even going to mention it. I'm not going to let it in. I am a realist. I am an economist. I am a financial historian. I have been studying currencies throughout my life. This has been my life every single day. You can ask my wife. This is all I do is study, and get as much information as I can about a subject matter. I do not speak about something I do not know about. So, inflation, man, and the numbers are going up again. So now they're going to step in, and likely you're going to see a rate hike of 1. They're going to go a point. You have to understand, let me break it down for you again, what's going on with the Fed. Shout out to anyone that may or may not get into AGIX as it pumped again out of this flag. This thing is out of control. I put it in a little flag last night, pumped 10%. Then I put it out and said, wow, this thing's up 10%. And then it would immediately rip again, up 72%. No, it's like, some days I feel like I'm psychic. I'm not even trying to make a call here. I just want to just talk like we're friends. I just want to talk like friends. Like everyone's always about clout and look what I did. Look at this. It's like, I don't care. It's not about the clout. It really isn't. But, so look, right here, my man, Valuable Scum, right? He puts this post out. And that's why it's not about me. It's about my lifers. He puts this beautiful flag out in the 15-minute at 1:46 in the afternoon. Looking pretty nice, if you ask me. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So then I see the same flag, and look, it would break to the upside up 10%. And so I would post this to the group, be like, wow, man, AGIX, despite the market being funny, up 10%. And then it just decided to go on a tear and rip all night, which is insane, and then come down and make a bit of a flag, and out of control. So I don't know. I'm not even saying I made that call. Like, look, I made many more beautiful calls than that. Let's be honest. Like, that was sluggish at best. The point of the story is, like, what made me think about that coin last night at that time? Just crazy to me. And I've seen that even before in my life. Yeah. The short is profit to be enough to cover my losses from the week. Now in profit. I mean, that's pretty sweet. With all the leaves coming down, all that stuff comes out the trees, and it tends to get to me a little bit. So we've had a bounce, slight bounce to the, but we're battling. You can clearly see resistance here for Bitcoin at 18,400. We're going to figure out where Bitcoin's going to go. We're going to kick it with you. You're going to kick it with me. We're going to have fun. We're going to break it down. Have no fear. All right. Bitcoin is tanking, and so is the world markets. So back to the data. The idea behind this is they're going to continue. Oh, yeah. So here's the Fed. They stood on this pedestal, right? This is Jerome Powell, and said, yes, la da 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 da. This is what's happening. We're going to tame inflation. We're going to get it down. Da 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 da. So he says this, a year, 2 years ago, he keeps saying it. We printed way too much money, honestly. And now the thing is, he keeps saying we're going to tame it. But then didn't a bill just go out called the Inflation Reduction Act that just put more money into circulation? So, like, how can he do anything if they continue to print money and continue to put bills out that continue to put more money out? So if Congress keeps voting against him, you see what I'm saying? That's like he's filling up a boat with water, or he's emptying the boat with water, and they're putting a hole in the bottom, and more water is just flowing into the boat. Like, they're not doing the same things. If they're not doing the same things, he can't. Like, so he claims that even though they keep printing money with these big new bills and putting billions of dollars more into circulation, right? He claims that somehow by hiring the interest rate and making it harder for the average U.S. citizen to have access to money, and make it harder for the average business to borrow money, make it harder for the average person to open up a mortgage, make it harder for anyone to do anything, right? And if you have to pay more for a loan and you open up a store, what do? Say I'm about to open up a hair salon, and it's going to cost me $1 million loan, and it's going to be at 2%, but now it's at 4%, right? It's a big amount of money if you think about it, right? So now I charge $35 for a haircut instead of $31 or $32. The price of a haircut has gone up now, but there's less money in circulation, so there's less people hiring, so there's less people with money. So now you have prices going up, but people losing jobs, because when you don't have access to money, less companies hire people. Because think about it. Look at me. Say I was bopping and weaving, and I was, I had a good margin on my business, but it was a closed margin. Like, I spent $2 million to make $2.5 million, and I made $500,000 a year, right? And I could hire 8 more employees, and that would make me an extra $300,000 a year, and give them all the salary, and it would work, right? But the loan gets too high. I can't take that loan on, and I can't take the employees, so I can't expand businesses. And that's going to happen everywhere. So I'm confused right now, because they're claiming that if they keep raising the interest rate, they're going to stop inflation. Okay? But inflation to me is already gone through the roof. Like, it's over. I said this 10 months ago. Remember I said they're not going to be able to stop inflation. It's going to continue to go up. I said they're going to raise the interest rate, and now here's the deal. They wanted people to believe that they were in control. So they have millions of people that, in my humble opinion, sorry to say, have not studied any of this and don't really know what's going on, right? So they have the masses staring at them right now. And they said, listen, we got this. And what's going to happen is, if they just say, okay, what's going to stop raising the interest rate? We're going to stop. Inflation was going to increase anyway, and they knew this because of the money printing. And then everyone would have said, you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. And everyone would have been super mad at them. And so they would have been like, okay. So they thought about this. They said, if we do the right thing and we stop raising the interest rate, and we don't kill the economy, and we don't kill the stock market, millions of people are going to blame us for not doing anything, because they think we can't, because we've convinced them of, and this is what happens when you tell a lie. You eventually have to keep living your lie until you're so deep in the lie, you can't get out of it. This is what I believe is happening. So now they could come out and they could say, okay, no more interest rate hikes. We're going to stop. We're going to keep it flat for the next, right? Hopefully, there's enough people like me out there explaining to the masses, don't get mad at them. They already lost. It's better off we stay positive and move on. At least we can have access to money better right now. At least the idea behind this is, though, is they stop raising the interest rate. I believe inflation is going to continue to increase. I believe no matter what they do, inflation will increase. I really do. And I believe Bitcoin will eventually, they're going to have to eventually make a new system. And I believe Bitcoin is going to have to shine. Something with a smaller supply is going to have to become the world reserve currency. And I think you can see this brewing. So they don't do anything, the masses are mad. They do something, they create more issues for the masses, and they create world dumpage. The stock market continues to shred, right? The dollar continues to go up in value. I've been saying that no matter what they do, they're in a jam, because they started off kind of in a deceitful way in the beginning. And when you start off deceitful or in a low frequency behavior, the end result just gets higher. The frequency gets lower and lower and lower till the end result is a spew, just a mass spew off of just complete, You needed someone with a backbone. You needed someone with honor. You needed someone in here that really cared about the human being, the beginning. And even these people do care. They have a heart, but they're so enthralled inside of a system in which they can't escape. Okay? Just want to make this really clear. Shout out to everybody here on the live. 693 people, 291 likes. Can we get the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. And so I'm not just here as a guy looking at the charts. I consider myself an economist of sorts. a financial historian, someone that has been studying these issues for a long time. I've been attempting to save my fellow man from these collapses, from these pains. All right. It's not easy. Most people will not listen, and it will take time. Look at this, 3333. The EOS short just continued to bang, up 87%. Shorting EOS. See, there's money to be made no matter what in this market. Look at that. That was a beautiful little flag. This is exactly what I teach in the course. These are things you can find all on your own. Tight moving averages, 200-day moving average. You know, if you looked at the 4 hour was low, ready to bang on you. So, simple, low stochastics in the 4 hour, lack of bearish momentum. And let me explain why it was likely Bitcoin was going to dump, all right? If you watch my channel for the last few days, you'd be like, well, he bought a whole Bitcoin though. I did. But honestly, I don't care if Bitcoin goes to 15, 16, 17. To me, that's just going stored away and for a long time. Like, my daughter will get that in 5 years. Like, that's a long-term investment for me. I'm not trying to make $5,000 off it in the next week or two, right? Granted, I would have liked to cut the exact bottom, but you're never going to do that. You see what I'm saying? At least I pulled the trigger. In my humble opinion, I feel relieved I bought a Bitcoin. You know, 19,200 area, down like $600-700. It is what it is. So take a look. If I worried about $600 and $700, I wouldn't be the person I am today. You see what I'm saying? So take a look. And I'm honest. I can be honest. I don't have to win everything. I don't have to be the greatest. I'd rather be an honest person and tell you the truth and have you respect me for it than anything else in this world. Honestly, I think that's what's gotten me this far on this channel, and I'm going to continue to be that way. And shout out to Frankie Candles for having me on the live stream yesterday. And man, really humbling. He said, I've had so many people on the live, and I saw it, and he said, but you, of all people, I got more comments, I got more requests, more people wanted to see you back on the channel, more people hit me up. He's like, once, and I was like, really? And he kept saying, he's like, no, honestly, like, more people were super into our interaction, really wanted to see us again. I said, man, Frankie, you're the man. And honestly, to get recognized, to get love around the blockchain, so to speak, right, from all different people, such love. And don't forget, we will be on ATB today at 5 p.m. going over the markets like we always do. Tough day to be on ATB, right? But I'll take it. I'll wrestle these dark days, these dumps, these bloody Thursday. A Thursday for a bloodiness too. Tough. But yeah, shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. 328 likes. You people are amazing. 728 people. Wow. 400 people about to hit that like button. I know it is about to happen. So everyone wants to know, what's up with BTC? Well, the 1 hour's cooked, and you would expect a bit of a V-shaped recovery. I'm going to clean this act up, all right? This is the KuCoin chart. First, I just want to show you exactly how you would have likely known we were going to dump, all right, and how easy it was to figure out. First thing we did was support and resistance. Number one, we had this high here, right, at 19,577. And you heard me say, if the daily or the weekly or the daily or the 4 hour candle can't close above 19,500, short the market. I don't know if you remember saying that, but I said it many times. And it's easy. You've just, not easy, but simple. Simple isn't easy, but simple is nice. So look, and I talk about M patterns, right? So this made, yes, an M pattern. You see, and M patterns break down this length, and so you're likely to come down to at least this liquidity zone here at about 19,176. Once we lost this, what's called a point of control, I kept saying no good. And see this green bar? I put the green bars wherever we have big boy resistance. And you'll hear me say this. And this is our big boy resistance. And I was showing you this flag all day yesterday. And I was like, listen, we must break up. And I said, we could make an M. If we make an M, we'll just dump to the downside and we'll end up down here. I said, and then we could easily continue, right? And then look, I drew my white lines and I said, listen, if we break up, we break all the way up here to 19,561. I said, if we break down, and where do I get this? The length of the pole here. We break down, we go somewhere to, 18,300 area, right? 18,800. 18,008 was really the area of the dumpage, right? And I said, watch the 5 minute. Even on Frankie Candles, I remember I said them, the charts really tell you what's going to happen. I said, you'll look at a support and resistance zone, you'll mark it. Once you lose that area, look, you even made an M here. You can see how this is a bit of an M pattern. Right here, see that? And when I call this is a bearish retest, I use the 5 minute. The 5 minute is my favorite time frame to show a bearish retest. 7 minute ain't bad either, but the 5 minute really is the go-to time frame to find my bearish retest. And you'd be like, but why such small time frames? Because when Bitcoin moves fast, it's like a car moving fast. You need to use the speedometer. And to me, all these time frames are meters. They're oscillators. They're taking in information as price goes by. And so if price is going by really fast, then I need to use a smaller time frame to figure out what's going on. Does that make sense? Because this is just like a speedometer. Do you get how looking at the charts on a graph are similar to a speedometer? Or am I out of my mind? Can anyone make that insane, crazy crossover metaphor? It's a bit of a reach, but if you're with me and you can bear that reach and you can see what I'm saying, then you can kind of make this. You can figure out what I'm breaking down. All right. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody here moving. Shout out to the 999, my man. Your money back from this morning's Meet Kevin stream. Real, recognize real, my friend. I would love to see a collab. You're the man, my guy. Shout out to Adventurous Angler. Your money back from this morning's meet. Wow. And then he sends the 999 right back that I sent to Kevin. See, what goes around comes around, man. Shout out to the Adventurous Angler. Cool, man. And I think I've seen you on YouTube, aren't you? Like, don't you do all the awesome, I think I've seen you doing, or at least you sound like one of the guys that I've seen. I'll look you up. Does fishing all the time, like anglers, a fisherman, right? I like to watch the fisher guys. Yeah, in my spare time, I like to watch YouTubers doing their life in the outdoors, man. Living alone in the woods, all that type of stuff really gets me going. Lifer gives us hope. He gives us strength, power for the crypto future. He will get us through this huddle, baby. Shout out to the PS5, future of gaming. Yes, the 1 minute rules. Barometer is a better term. It's a good barometer. There you go. Shout out to the 377 likes. I love that. 77, baby. All the 77. Take a big sip of that lemon water. Get yourself going. Get yourself breathing. Did you work out today? You know what? Yeah, I saw the charts. I said, wow. And then the shorts continued to go up. And I saw people taking gains in my trading group, making money on the shorts. I said, may God bless the traders. Wow. So look, V-shaped recovery for a bit, but it was just a spike. Ooh, and then look at dump deck. This is just crazy, right? And then dump, and just watching this market is just insane. And so look, the 5 minute right here, to me, wants to dump. And you couldn't get above resistance. See, the stochastic wants to turn on you, and you really couldn't get above this new area of resistance at 18,453, 18,500. So what you have to do is you have to expect more downside. That's it. If you don't make a previous high above that previous area, you must expect more downside. 17,930 all the way, right? So so the short right here, we take a look at the short. All the shorts really stay open. Technically, you go to the same thing on their small time frames, 5 minute, and hopefully they start to dump, right? You want to look for some signs of that. I mean, that's a double top. Like, that doesn't look too good. But what you do is you flag out the opposite inversely correlated asset. And that's what you want to look at. Let's take a look at the dollar index. We got a lot to go over, but I hope you understand what I was talking about here. And I've been saying this for a long time. They really don't have a leg to stand on. We need a new system. We need to remove the Fed, in my humble opinion. And I know when I say that, people, but it's time for something different. It's time they stop manipulating the markets and they let the free market breathe. It's over, baby. They have shown that they can't. They never were doing what they said they were doing in the first place. It's been a fairy tale, everybody. They never had your back, and they never will. And they believe they did. I have to remind you, they believe they did. They've been lost. They've been lost for a long time. They've been lost for a long time. Indirectly, they don't know how to help you if they wanted to. Okay? So look on the data. We had dumped. We had the bearish retest. Things were looking great for my measured move here, down out of the ascending triangle. But of course, lo and behold, they manipulated the market on the 5 minute. We would break all the way to the upside, but the dollar just would not get above 113. And if you were watching Sin City Crypto, all right, and Meet Kevin, shout out to Meet Kevin. But shout out to the beautiful people at Sin City Crypto, keeping themselves consistently relevant, always on the move, always doing something beautiful, right? But take a look at these guys. And if you can see, I was on with Forrest back. Me and Forrest, I love that. That's a night. But I was on with Forrest, and we were going over. Wow, they've done a lot of stuff since then. See that? Here we go. BNB hat. I believe this is when I was on with Forrest, or was it there? Yeah, one of these two episodes. And we were going over so much, data and information. And what he was discussing was like, as a trader, it would be a hard for the dollar index to get back above 114. Like, it clearly has lost these support zones. And to me, it's making like a double top. And I'll show you the idea here. I'll show you the trade chart, which is still pushing to the downside, trying to round out, but it's not done yet, right? It could bend down and still dump. The MACD is showing you signs of extension. And the RSI has bearish divergence on the 3-day chart. Swing down to swing down, swing up to swing up. It's telling us that a dump is coming for the dollar index. So I'm keen on my Bitcoin buy, and I'm not really stressing the fear. Honestly, great day to buy some Bitcoin. Great day to saddle up into more BTC, in my humble opinion. For me personally, you know, it would have been a perfect day to buy the whole Bitcoin today. Should have waited for the nasty fear. Maybe I buy another one, you know. Be like, no, just continue to unload. But we look at the crypto fear and greed index. Are we at an 18? Still hugging 20. I want to see that lower. After the dump today, this should reset. In 9 hours, I should see the teens. You know, extreme fear, but we got to be at, I mean, to me, after what happened, that's a 16, 17. I'd even be as liable to say that's a 15. You know what I mean? But we'll go from there. Shout out to the 400 people on that like button. 758. We're still growing. More people coming into the stream. More people loving it. And shout out to Meet Kevin. I cannot wait. If anyone knows Meet Kevin, shout out to him. Let him know the Crypto Lifer absolutely loves him. He was a YouTuber that I've been watching for a long time. He is, you know, you have to remember, to be a YouTuber, you watch other YouTubers. And you aspire to become similar to another YouTuber, you know? And, you know, you aspire to not become similar. I shouldn't say that. But you aspire, like, they pave a way for you to see things in a way that you never saw it. And you're like, wow, look at the life he's living. Look what he's doing. Maybe I could live a life like that. And I'm not going to lie and say that I didn't see Meet Kevin years ago, and I was truly inspired by the man's hustle, by his entrepreneurship, and by what he does. So shout out to Meet Kevin. Shout out to anyone that knows Meet Kevin. I think he's great. I love him, you know. And if anyone that doesn't like him, I'm sorry. Every time I say I do like something, someone's like, oh, you suck. I don't like that dude. Yeah. But I bet he's pretty positive, nice guy. He's a family man. He's doing his thing. You know, you like meet his dad on the stream. Like, he showed you his life. He's let you really in. And he really breaks down the science of what he does. He had a great course. He goes around the country on a tour. He's a smart man. You can learn a lot from the dude. So, hey, I learned a lot from Meet Kevin. Just watching his show, just observing him throughout the years, he taught me a good deal just about life and entrepreneurship. So shout out to you, Kevin. If you're out there, if you ever hear this, I love you, brother, and you're a good man. So the dollar index, man, desperately needs a dump. All right. We're oversold on the bigger time frames. And so this is the bigger idea here. We're in this rising wedge. All right. And look, I'm going to make it easy for you. I deleted all my work, which is like, but don't worry. And what we do is we make support and resistance lines. Let's go to like the weekly. So hard, but we'll look at Bitcoin, the dollar index in like all its entirety. I like to look at it on the monthly. And so what we were saying here too was like, it was first, I mean, to me, this was definitely, that was a resistance zone there. You can see that. Got above it and used it. And it's always like a 45. You can feel the angles that it makes. I mean, it's crazy. I haven't done this yet, but that is a measured move all the way to 154. Imagine that, right? What would that do? But how could that happen with the monthly so beat to the ground? See how high the monthly is? Overbought. The last time the monthly was here, we eventually went sideways and had a massive dump. People don't realize these two huge moves were Bitcoin's rallies. This was Bitcoin's rally in 2017. This was Bitcoin's rally in 2020, right? Right when the dollar dumped, Bitcoin rallied immediately. Like, these are Bitcoin's rallies. So, it looks like we're very close for a Bitcoin rally, in my humble opinion. You know, monthly chart gets overbought, Bitcoin rally. Monthly chart gets overbought, Bitcoin rally starts, a little bit of a rumble, Bitcoin rally continued. You know, Bitcoin rally back in, and then Bitcoin comes out right here, 2010, right? 2002, 2012, right here. This puts Bitcoin on the map right there. You see? So, point of the story is the bigger time frames can show you the way, right? So this is the monthly support that we did break at 102, which I can't believe that. Monthly resistance. And we have resistance up here at 121. All right. These are our areas to watch, really. There's really nothing to stop us from going any higher than that. And then we're in these just like unknown regions, the parabolic regions. All right. So that's the monthly chart. And I'm showing you how extended the dollar is. and how ridiculous it is right now. How ridiculous of a position it's in that it continues to go up in value. Complete manipulation inside of this channel. That's also a rising wedge that breaks down 68% of the time, all the way to the zone here. So this is what we're looking at, all right? And that's the monthly, baby. And eventually, the time is coming. Whether it takes till the end of December, till January, till April or March. It could take 2-3 more months for this to play out, but this is coming. This is coming for the dollar. It cannot continue to go up. It just can't, based on momentum. Human beings don't have it anymore. These movements are made by human beings. Eventually, the energy will not be there. People will not believe. And it's belief, it's energy, it's ideals, it's situational. Like if someone's stuck in a situation like, well, I got to buy bonds now. Like people get pressed to do things financially when they have a lot of money. Their financial advisor is attempting to hold the zone, right? To keep them whole. So people get pressed. So I'm trying to tell you the reasons why people make a financial decision that's big. And I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as such. I'm just going over the reasoning. They get pressed because they have so much money. They have to allocate into some type of hedge, right? And so at one point, no one's going to be able to take on this risk, and it's going to be adjusted. The algorithms are going to come off, the hedge funds are going to come off, and the risk is going to be adjusted because no one wants to stay in an asset that's extended. You know what I'm saying? In the history of mankind. So you can almost, over time bet on those ideas. So anyway, don't bet on anything. But so look, the 2-week chart, and that's a figure of speech. The 2-week chart, extended. Starting to get flat here, even with a possible kind of trend. Okay, it's still a slight uptrend here, but it's like flat. And this is a beautiful uptrend. I mean, that is a form of divergence. And that's bearish divergence on a very large time frame, okay? A very large time frame. And you're in a rising wedge as well. This bodes well that it's just, I don't know how much lower Bitcoin and these other assets can go on the dollar, unless they just decide to take the dollar into a straight line like this. And at one point, like, they can have their own party alone then. You know what I mean? Like, what are they doing? So this is the only thing that the Fed will do if they raise that interest rate 1 point. It just doesn't make sense. All right. Let's swing over to the weekly chart. Same thing, spent. 5-day chart, spent. 4-day chart, pushing down on you. 3-day chart, wanting to continue down. The daily, rolling over with an M pattern here. And so this is what we need. And wickage to the downside for sell pressure for the dollar index, right? So here. This is important. This is a day where we take a lot of this extremely seriously. All right? You come here a lot. We trade alts. We have fun. But this is world market territory. This is big decisions. People come to my channel from around the world. People that trade almost everything from every asset. And they want to see. You know what I mean? How about Tino's from Trader Reality showing his face today? How about that? Did he look anything like people thought he looked? So look, we got an M here. Shout out to all my streamers. Shout out to all my streamers out there. Shout out to all my streamers out there. I don't care what you stream. Shout out to all my YouTuber streamers. Shout out to every single one of my streamers, baby. Streamers unite. Streamers unite. It's not easy going on every single day. Me and Frankie talked about it yesterday in the live. It's not easy putting yourself on the line every single day. It's not easy putting your face out there every single day. All right? Shout out to all my streamers. And may God bless your streams. May God bless your lives for one of the hardest jobs in America. Even though it seems cushy, it seems so sweet. And I get it. I'm not taking out the trash. I'm not working the night shift at a hospital. I get it. I'm not running into a burning building. I understand that. I'm not trying to say I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread or streaming is, but it is a hard job, 7 days a week. Earning your spot on YouTube is no joke. The algorithm will kick you out the second you won't work hard enough. And you could do tons of work for a year, and it will just throw it right out the window the second you don't keep it moving. You must be better than the next day. You must continue to progress. You must continue to have good ideas. You must continue to add and keep moving. The second you stay stagnant, that algorithm finds out how flat you are and you are done. You are fighting a robot. You are fighting basically the Matrix guy. You know a guy in the Matrix? Like, hello, Mr. Anderson. Welcome, Mr. Anderson. Not bad, right? But you know what I'm saying? You're fighting the Matrix. You are fighting the Matrix when you are a YouTuber. One day you're going to fall off. One day they're going to get you. You know what I mean? One day you're going to have to just pass the baton. Like me, Kevin, he's banging on him. One point he's going to pass the baton. I'm waiting there. I'm just waiting, you know? Hey, Lois, I think I ought to go a bit. So look, we got an M pattern here. Hey, Chris, go to your room. Everybody, when I watch crypto Lifer. Everybody in Cohog, we sit at the bar, we sit together, and I turn on crypto Lifer. So take a look here. Everyone, this is Maki Wahlberg, and you know, I played a cop, I played a fireman, and now I'm trading. And when I trade, I watch Crypto Lifer every single day, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. He does it good, baby. That's why, just like Maki Mock used to. So look, so we got an M pattern here on the DXY with a measured move here to my circled area at 104. This would be so beautiful. So beautiful. Can we get it is the question. What I don't like is look how low we are on the DXY on the 4-hour time frame. Hasn't really reset yet, and it's flagging out. Tells me that it's consolidating. Does have a shoulder head and a shoulder there. Does have some indecision dojis. 1 hour is coming up. We need to see this continue to dump. This has to be the resistance level at 113.42. If the dollar gets back above this, it could easily retest that on the 4 hour and get above here. So we need to see this dumpage for Bitcoin's sake. We need to see the dumpage for Bitcoin's sake. Shout out to everybody on the live. Can I get the likes up to the watchers? Baby! Thank you so much. Let's go. Let's stay motivated, baby. Let's go. Woo! One of my best friends is coming tomorrow. I'm super excited. I can't wait. Come on now. I'm motivated. I'm excited. You know, it's about the people in your life. I get to see my buddy a couple times a year now. I used to see him every single day, almost every other day. So, you know, it's about the people in your life. I'm so excited, man. Bitcoin can go up and down. I'm seeing one of my best friends tomorrow. Very excited. So, you know what I'm saying? Share the love, share the environment, share the movement, share the frequency, and get it moving. So CPI data, again, food is up 0.4%. Food at home is up 0.8%. That's a lot of money, 1%. Food away from home is up 0.7%. Energy is down 2.1%. It's the only good sign here, right? Gasoline, all types, is down 4.7. That's pretty good, all right? 4.9 for fuel oil and energy services. They are slightly down. That is a good sign, at least, that some goods may not go up in value because they're not paying more for the gasolina, all right? All items, food and energy together, 0.6 though. It's not good. You know, they expected to go down. It's not going down. Used cars and trucks down 0.11, making it harder for new vehicles to be bought. The market for new vehicles is getting a little tougher. Medical care commodities down 0.1%. Service, less energy services, 0.8. Shelter down up 0.7, right? Transportation services, hold up. Transportation services. We're talking airlines. We're talking buses. We're talking trains, planes, and automobiles. 1.9. We're talking cabs. Cabs are up huge. I took a cab for the airport. My goodness. So the food index increased 8.8% in September. The same increase as August. The food index rose 0.7 in September. All 6 major grocery store food group indexes increased. The index for fruits, vegetables rose 1.6%, while the index for the food for cereals and bakery products rose 0.9% over the month. The index for food at home increased 0.5% in September after rising 1.1% in August. The index for meats, poultry, fish, eggs rose 0.4%. Eggs keep going up over the month, while the index for non-alcoholic beverage increased 0.6% in September. The dairy and related project index rose 0.3% in September, the same increase as the previous month. The food away from home index rose 0.9% in September. As it did in August, the index for full service meals increased 0.4%, and the index for limited service meals increased 0.6%. I mean, wow. And you could break it down and read this for yourself. We can go over it. We can see the general numbers, not what was planned. And that pushes everybody into, and you know what's going to happen is we're eventually going to price in a rate hike of 1%. When we price in a rate hike, it is what it is. So the market's in shambles right now. Don't expect to jump in and out of trades. It's a little like everyone's like, whoa, a deer before the headlights. I'm showing you this is likely that we break to the downside if we can't get a candle to close on the 1 hour time frame by 4 or 5 o'clock above 18,400. You got to expect a sideways or more downside action to about 17,941. Did we bottom? That's the question everybody wants to know. There's a high probability that we still did hit our bottom there at that back capitulation wick at 17,500. But only time will tell, everyone. Only time will tell. Right now, I'm going to break down what you need to know for Bitcoin. Watch this. I'm going to show you exactly how to chart it on your own. All right? Watch this. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the daily time frame. All right? As you can see, we are still hugging a bit of a double bottom here. Clear as day. But I will show you something that, I've been talking about it for a while. Is this whole area here is basically a descending triangle. See this? And here's the idea. We break this descending triangle to the downside, we open up shorts, and we short the market, right? And if we look at the bigger area for Bitcoin, you can see that our next general support zone, and this is simple. I'm not going to be the only guy showing you this. This is just simple stuff. I'm not going to be a rocket scientist. This is your zone. This is your previous levels of support of resistance once you break this bigger area, okay? Let's break it down and see where the candles actually closed, like on an 8-day. These candles closed, if I hover over it, it opened at 19,100. This one opened at 19. This one closed at 18,188. Okay. So, point of the story is you still got like some type of bigger support at 18,800 if you could get back above 18,008. You did lose it, so you lost a major support zone, right? So take a look here. Definitely a descending triangle, which is starting to dump if you look at it really, out of the descending triangle. Clear as day, in my humble opinion. And you can see, they keep selling off. Every time we hit this level, sell off. So keep selling off the lower highs every single time, right? Bitcoin couldn't get back above 20,600, that high volume node. And then when we lost this point of control, and I kept saying, if you hug about the point of control, we long. I said, if you don't, we short. And I even pointed this out yesterday. I said, watch, we'll go to the point of control, and if we barely retest 19,100, short it. And you'd be like, well, how do I know exactly when? I said, well, use the 5-minute, right? And again, you have to figure this stuff out and educate yourself. I'm never going to tell you what to do, but I can show you how to zoom in and what to see and what to look for, right? So you can make the proper decision. And it's all about knowing what patterns you're in. And see, if I'm always drawing a pattern, then I can find the bearish retest, right? And so I was able to find that bearish retest because remember, I had this pattern drawn the whole time. So once we lost it and we try to get back in there, you're like, okay, and you can't fake it. Once you do this, you're leaning too far away from the zone. And remember, a bottom of a pattern is always about a bit of a 45-degree angle. So like once you start flattening it out and changing it, you're losing the pattern, in my humble opinion, and you're kind of, you're jading your initial decision. So even up here, you could have said this was the bearish retest there, and we made the M there. And then I'm a flag guy, and I continue to make flags. So you can just go to a small time frame, and when in doubt, flag it out. Just like if this was upside down, I would flag it out the other way. Same thing here. So you flag this out, and what you end up with is a bear flag. And then if you take my beginner's course and you learn what I teach you, you end up with the trading cheat sheet, right? And even if you just write in trading patterns, I believe it's like the first thing you find. It's like so simple. That's why I try to keep it as simple as possible. But look at these trading patterns here. And see this? That looks like a bear pennant, right? That's going to break down. It's exactly what Bitcoin looked like here. Identical. So keep your sheets on your table at all times. Focus, focus, focus. Don't listen to 1,000 YouTubers. Listen to the guy. I'm just trying to, I can send you in the right direction, and then I need you to do your homework. You need to sit and look for these patterns. You need to go and find as many bear flags as you can. So look, then I can go back into the past in the last few dumps, and I could look for bear flags, all right? Or things that look that they're going to break to the downside and reasons why, you know. So you're like, all right, well, here's a rising wedge, number one, which is a bit of a bear flag, right? You can see it's not a bullish, you know, and there's your measured move. Instead, if you flip it up, that's not a falling wedge. So you flip it upside down, see? And price action doesn't care, right? And then you're like, well, we're going to go lower here. And you're like, well, here's another one. And now you become, after one or two of these, you get a little confidence and then see the measured move hit again. And you're like, wow, you know? Now, this was more of a falling wedge, and that's why you broke out. But then are you going to continue lower? And like, you just, you know, you zoom in. And again, you can use the 5 minute to the 7 to the 15 because that's when the flags are going to really start showing themselves in a bit of a dump. And this is, lo and behold, really how I trade, you know, like rising wedges break down, you know. This is an M pattern. You'll recognize the patterns. You'll see what you need to see. It'll fill in the blanks. Things will start to make sense. It'll take time. It's not going to be overnight, you know. And you need dumps like today. You need pumps like the next few days. Like you need this price action because without volatility, you'll have no clue what's happening. You won't be able to learn. It's just like, how do you learn how to surf without the waves crashing all over you? Like, how do you learn how to not get kicked off the board if you don't know what's going to happen in the volatility, right? So anyone that's shying away from this, then trading maybe ain't your bag, you know? But if you're excited for the dump as much as you are for the pump, if you're in it to win it, if you're in to learn, if you really want to, if you can short and long and you're willing to really tackle this market in the best way possible, then you're with me and I'm with you and we're ready to go together wherever this takes us. So, and thank God for people like you, because with people like you, I can explore the unknown. I can continue to go into the markets where they want to take us. And I don't have to do it alone. I can do it with a group, and I can do it with everyone who wants to progress and continue to learn. So, again, I mean, I'm in a similar pattern here with a measured move to the downside, right? I get this kind of broadening wedge. It's what I got going on. Like, this is the pattern at hand. This is what I can make sense of the situation at the present moment, all right? I got my support and resistance lines. I know what I'm looking at, you know, and they're from previous areas, right? And that's why sometimes you're far apart on the small time frames. So you have to go here and you have to make your support and resistance. You have to mark your lines nicely. You have to kind of take it into consideration. I could go to those candles closed, I guess. And then our final bottom wick there at 17,606. Now, I have orders right now stacked from 7,000, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, 13,000. I have orders for Bitcoin all in these areas. I've taken about 30 grand and stacked orders all through that area. So if we shred through there, if we get dips through there, if we capitulate wick, may my limit orders please get hit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking this just like this is when you're in a high of a bull market and everyone's saying you're going higher and you're starting to take some profits. Everyone's saying we're going lower, but I'm starting to build my bags. Like I'm using this fear. You know, now I would like more fear. I'll be honest. I would like the fear to go into 10. 11, 12, anywhere between 7 and 12, I would love it. That's really where I thrive. That's where like the most Bitcoin really should be gobbled up. That's an area that I really look for to get busy. But we'll go from there. You know, I'm going to take it day at a time. We may never get those lows. So that's why I did what I did the next few days, right? 2 days ago. So we'll go from there. So look, you really don't have to worry. And then again, when it comes to where we are now, I look at my next big resistance area, right? Which we know is right here at about 18,900, right? That's going to be that's like our zone. So we know, like, until we get to that area, we really don't have to think about much. Like, that's our next, you know? So, and what I mean, it's like mapping, it's like being in battle. Like, you know you're in a big war, right? But you have to win the battle first. So, like, that's how I look at things. Like, right now, we're in a battle for the lower time frames. And, like, it really doesn't matter if we get to 18.8 or all that. Like, if we don't get above 18,005, you know? And then we know we have this big area to worry about here at 19,200 now. And we have this area here. So, like, these are our three big areas. The green area and these two yellows. Like, until we get above those, like, it's just not happening. And again, let me show you, too, like, falling wedge. This was a beautiful falling wedge. Likely to break to the downside. When falling wedges break down, they break the length of this base. And they fall pretty straight down. And so that's our measured move. That's basically, look, it's you know, basically exactly what may happen. Like, so we haven't even finished the measured move with a falling wedge yet, in my humble opinion. Again, how did I do that? Falling wedges break to the downside. And when they break down, to me, they break down less than when they break up. When I take a wedge that breaks to the upside, I usually take the length of the previous pole. And that's where we're going to go, that pole there. But when I take it to the downside, I take the base of the triangle. Why is that? Because that's just how it is. I don't know why. I've learned it. I backtested it. It tends to play out many, many times. Okay? And when you break out of a falling wedge, you fall down fast. Fast. So it's funny that it was CPI data, but the technical analysis even played out as it shall. And honestly, the beginning of this all was just how to short an M. If you just knew what an M pattern was and how to short it. And we did talk about this M. We went over this idea. 20,500 was lost. Big area. Short still in the money from that time period, right? Short is still in the money from that time period. On Bitcoin 3 hour, it bounced off the all-time trend line I have drawn, like right off of it. But it also fell straight through the all-time downtrend line in a few days. Those lines cross. Chief, the NFA warning is highlighted above the ticker. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. There was like this weird, I hit something that made a white bar. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So here we are for Bitcoin, right? 30-second chart is trying to show signs of bullishness. And what we have here is this. So this is what I see happening. If you can't get back inside the pattern, right? If you can't dig yourself back in here, it's you know, it's troublesome. Troublesome. So you got to expect more downside until you break above resistance. All right. So right now, Bitcoin broke this resistance. You can see a little bit of a pump here at 18,005. And I showed you how bad the dollar index is, right? So what you're praying for, and if you're going long, or is an inverted head and shoulder here of some type. That's how you dig out of these. And a bit of divergence. So do we have some bullish divergence? I see some out of the corner of my eye, and I barely saw it, but I see a swing up here on the RSI, and I see a massive swing down on price action. That is bullish divergence. So, but again, in bearish times, sometimes all it can give you is just a kick like this, and then, you know, it's like, okay, you got it. You got your move up, and that's all you're getting. All right. So we've taken care of the dollar index. That's on our radar. We see what we see there. And Bitcoin's still in this flag. If you were in the trading group, you were given a short last night and were warned, definitely forewarned that it was likely that we were going to the downside. The probability was short, right? The probability was short. And you can go watch Frankie Candles' episode last night at 2 as well. Shout out to Frankie Candles. Appreciate you so much. Let's take a look at that. Frankie Candles. Who here is from the Mafia representing? I always misspell it, but there you go. And he had me on the show last night. It was awesome. This is us here, 50. Yeah, this is us here, right? Tell him today. So
News up.
Trying to see.
Doesn't it kind of seem weird? I'm not saying that we're 100% going to this price, right? I've never even really brought up $9,500, but
yeah, possible.
If you want,
a pretty good indicator, you know.
Yeah.
And like the money flow, I was like, damn it, like, because I don't use market cyber all. Where I actually do use it, because like you'll. That's all I don't see.
But for me, urgency is
right place at the right time. Time doesn't care where you're standing. It's a really good episode. I went over a lot. Wow. Anyway, I want to find like, did they timestamp? You know, and he's gonna have a plan. He's gonna be situated. He's gonna have a trading diary. He's gonna know all his. He or she, mind you. We'd find something. Would have sworn I did TA and was like, dude. A certain amount of movement, and you compare it to the last bit of movement, and it's a momentum indicator. So when we're low and we get low on the 4 hour, I'm like, awesome. Like here we can get a nice push, and when the 4 hour starts to kind of curve and get above the dotted line, and I don't get above the previous highs, I'm getting antsy because now I'm like, well, I don't have much more room here. Like it could double bottom, and like in that movement, I got to get all the way up here now. And somehow, some way, the stochastic, and it's already telling me that you're lacking momentum, but I didn't make it above a previous high. So that tells me that there's a lack of bullish momentum, you know, because we should have gotten a bigger move there, in my humble opinion. We at least should have gotten somewhere up into this area, but we didn't. Yeah. So that lets me, but I've also seen smaller time frames throw what I call Hail Marys. I call it the 7-minute Hail Mary. Like out of nowhere, you'll see the 15-minute pin. The 1 hour will be pinned. Like all your traditional indicators say overbought. But the 7 minutes in a little flag, and lately I use Bookmap, and I see liquidity at the top, and somehow they just throw this $600-700 candle, and the next, it takes an hour or whatever, and they liquidate everyone that thought they had it. But traditionally, I mean, this is a double top. Look, you can't get above 19,200. It's an issue. This point of control, I keep saying we have to hold it. I've been saying this for weeks now. Every time we go below it, I'm like, God damn it. Every time we get above it, I'm ready to long. I will admit right now I'm in a long. And I'll explain why I'm in a long right now. And it's weird for me, honestly, because I'm not getting the normal indicators that tell me to get into a long. Honestly, price action has been doing like almost everything. I put my 2 scenarios out, and when it does one of the 2, it's been almost doing everything I've been predicting. So like, I'd be super surprised if we can't if we lose this POC, you're going to see somewhat of a bearish retest on the 5 minute.
That's exactly what happened.
1 minute, right?
That's exactly.
And then
what
you're going to see a dump down here on the 7 or the 15, and then we're going to have to find an inverted head and shoulder, or some type of double
exactly
bottom,
what we're doing right now.
We're going to make another flag, and the flag's going to continue.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened last night. I'm just like, we made a bearish retest of that pattern that I had drawn, and we would dump, which was here, right? And we would eventually dump to the downside. It's just, then we would make the flag, and then we would dump out of the flag. It's just hilarious to me. You know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, just kind of breaking it down. Like, that's, if you were watching Frankie Candles last night, and then I say I'm in a long, but my long was down 18.5. I got stopped out. I was hoping that we would get the dump and I could add to the long, right, and continue the move. So I could see the short coming, but I was, hoping I could avoid the downward momentum, but I could not, So even I get pegged, So it is what it is. A nice short hedged entry balances you off, though, so you can open up a short at the last minute and it can kind of bounce off your long. So the idea behind these ideas. So that's exactly what happened last night. And just, that's a double top. Couldn't get above the zone. Bearish retest. We dumped to the downside. So pretty, that's why I like my TA. I try to explain how it's going to happen in depth. And then you can come back and watch it the next day and be like, man, it kind of happened exactly like he talked about, right? And it's only because I've seen it so much in my life. Like, thank the Lord I would have at least some skill at this point. You would hope. Right, as a joking sensation, but like you would hope by now, like I would be able to do something for Bitcoin, in some type of call. So look, we're getting a bounce back up above the zone, 18,006. This is okay, right? Now we have our next resistance to go against here at about 18,658. All right. Remember that dollar index is looking weak to me, and you could say this, this is supposed to break to the upside. This is a bullish pattern that's supposed to break back up, and so far it is. Our measured move would be right here back to the POC. Can you climb back inside the pattern? I mean, that would be ridiculous. There's a chance that could happen. All right. Bitcoin. And remember, at the end of the day, it's in the larger, So, again, when you do smaller time frames, you kind of have to do those, and then you have to zoom out, and you kind of have to save it in a way. Wow, Bitcoin's getting a huge pump to the upside here. Massive short squeeze, getting pumped back up. Extreme volatility. Extreme volatility. Extreme volatility. And look at that, man. Look at that. Wow. And honestly, like there's really no, you can't predict this stuff, in my humble opinion, I mean, we had the wedge, you broke out of the wedge, but this is just, at the end of the day, if you really wanted to be the master, this was a flag. All right. And so a lot of people say, Sam, how do you hit it? I didn't hit this call, but sometimes I do. But some people are like, how do you hit it? I will sometimes hit a flag like this when the whole market's insane. They're like, Sam, how do you hit a flag like that? And I think because I focus on a small time frame and I forget about it's almost like having goldfish brain. You don't think about the daily. You don't think about any other time frame. All you think about is the fact that that's a flag that breaks up 60% of the time. And lo and behold, it's a flag that breaks up. It's a bull flag. That's a bull flag on the 5-minute time frame. And your Stokes were pointing up. Right? But again, that's high risk. I don't trade days like today with data coming in and out and all this floppy nonsense. It's ridiculous. You can't beat yourself up if you didn't call the short. You can't beat yourself up if you didn't get the long. Here's the day you sit on the sidelines, you watch the dust settle, and you figure out where it is. You know what I mean? Shout out to Cisco Kid. Shout out to everybody here. Yo, so what point of those... So beware the volatility. People don't use high leverage or you're going to get wrecked. Yeah, I mean, high leverage is just not something I'm into, at all. And it's not what I talk about. And I just want people to become educated. My goal is to educate the world on technical analysis, teach you about the highs and the lows, the ups and downs, get yourself situated. So look, that Bitcoin short that we put out, the GMT short followed it way nicer for gains, 27% today. AGIX continued to pump, which is insane. I can't even believe that. Near, right? Near short. And again, it's about finding the flag, ascending triangle flag, going to the 4-hour time frame, playing those low stochastics, right? Again, they weren't even low where I wanted, and the MACD didn't even look good. Like this was very deceptive, in my humble opinion. That one for sure. Ape even, the way it bounced up like that. Did the 3-hour give you more context? Did the 2-hour give you more context? 2-hour gave you more of an idea. You had the lack of bullish momentum. You were in a flag. 2-hour really possessed the look that you were going for and the measured move right there. Stochastics to the up, to the down, take profits, move on, right? That's what I teach. That's what I go for. Slap on moving averages. If you get moving averages tight, still pretty far away for Jasmine 3S too. They changed the 3S. Now you have to put the whole thing, put a .3S. Just remember that, or you won't be able to find the 3S tokens for KuCoin. It's not as easy. So everything with an S just banged on you, you see? So when I put out a 3S chart for Bitcoin, at what time at night last night, 10:45, and you can use all the other charts to play Bitcoin, basically. You see what I'm saying? So last thing I posted was the short, 10:06 p.m. You can't, if I had edited, I edited only because I think just to add MEXC global tokens when I edited it. That looks weird now. But I promise everyone in my trading group can swear to their life that this was posted at 10:16. Like, people from around the world can swear on that. So they don't have to swear, but they can hold me. Look, the 777s follows me around all the time lately. Look at that. 7777 right here, the number. So weird. But seeing it all the time. It was the flight to Vegas, too. I don't know if they always do that. They probably always make your flight to Vegas 777 as a joke, right? Let's take a look at ES1. The S&P futures, all right? So, look, we had the S&P futures, and we talked about it dumping to the downside. I had a entry, a target at 34.81. We would get to 35.14 or 35.04. So I was like 20 points away from the measured move. Calling the S&P, which is not something that I thought I would be doing regularly in my life, but it is now. So this is a bear flag. It was becoming a bear pennant, right? A symmetrical triangle, in my opinion. It could go either way. Measured move up or down. It bearishly retested, came up, hit the point of control, came back down. Again, you can't beat yourself up for not catching the perfect short at this just because the data came out bad. But the data did come out bad, which you knew was going to create a high idea that they were going to come out with 1 basis point. That news starts coming out. That sends FUD and fear to the market, right? But then it could people say, hey, it's baked in. And how much more could they go? And now people are wondering what they're going to do. And now you see kind of the resonance of that. The Fed minutes will come out, I think, tonight at 8 p.m. I might go live tonight at 8 p.m. because of Fed minutes. We'll look at that in depth. But I do remember seeing something at 8 p.m. tonight coming out. So we'll look for that too. I do have a schedule. Let me take a look at that for you. Bump, 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 bump. October 13th. 2 events, 8:30, United States, October 14th, 8:30. So 2 events tomorrow, retail sales and Michigan consumer sentiment. Okay, inflation rate, September core CPI. So I believe tonight they talk about inflation rate, or they got the CPI data, but I think something else is coming out, I'll be honest. Kendall's in the house. Happy Thursday. Shout out to everybody. We need the icing now. I totally forgot to hit that like button. It happens. Please hit that like button if you forgot. Just like my man said, he forgot. It's okay. It's okay. As long as you make up for it, you're okay. You're going to make it through. I love you. I love each and every one of you for coming on into the live. Thank you so much for being here, calling yourself Crypto Lifers, and sharing the stage with the lifer. All you beautiful people. Shout out to Gregory the Sniper, CNC Ireland. Everyone, if you're confused by some of the lines I'm making, if some of this looks like a science that you really want to know and you're just a little like, don't be scared. For $99, which isn't a lot. It's a ticket for like at an event. A lot of people spend $99 at a bar a night for 5 to 10 drinks, right? And you don't even remember what happened, and you don't get to have that night forever because you don't even know what went on. For $99, sit with me for 2 hours. It will be the best 2 hours of your life. I'll take you where you need to go. All right. I'm going to show you all the indicators I use, how to set up your charts. You're also going to be left with a PowerPoint that's going to teach you what I do, how I do it, and my special sauce. I'm going to record it for you. You're going to be given the recording so you can watch it over and over again. You're going to be given every single resource to succeed. I truly believe I can help you and educate you on your way if you would like to dabble with technical analysis and figure out what's going on in cryptocurrency. So again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do will be taken as financial advice. I won't go over your portfolio. I won't tell you what to buy or sell, and I won't manage anything for you. That's not happening. I just want to make that really clear. But what I will do is I will empower you. I will educate you, and you will know what you are doing. You will be ready to go. You will feel like you were finally in the driver's seat at the end of that class, and you'll have at least a vision and a place to go, a system to follow, and some homework. And I'll put you on the right path to getting on your way, all right? And that's what I want. That's important, okay? Okay. Steppen to sack 100 staff as players step away from the move to earn app. So Steppen was bumping and running, but they're canning it pretty fastly. So just be careful. Might be a good short, something to look at on the radar, right? Bitcoin hash rate breaks leads to largest difficult adjustment in a year. But why? Bitcoin mining difficulty spikes up following all-time high in hash rate. According to the latest report, the Bitcoin block production rate received a value of almost 7 recently after the hash rate surge. The mining hash rate is an indicator that measures the total amount of computing power connected to the Bitcoin blockchain. Using this available hash rate, miners hash blocks on the network at the pace at which they do. The process is known as the block production rate. As part of its features, the Bitcoin chain aims to keep it so that this rate remains near constant. However, whenever the hash rate registers a change, the block production rate also shifts its value. For example, an uptrend in hash rate leads to miners hashing blocks faster, since they have a higher amount of power online now. As a countermeasure on this, the concept of Bitcoin mining difficulty comes into play. The difficulty's value decides how much power miners require in order to mine a block. If the metric goes up, the miner's pace slows down, thus reducing the block production rate and sending it back to the network's intended value. So listen, this is how Bitcoin becomes inherently profitable to mine no matter what. And I'm going to break it down for the layman right now. Check it out. Just watch me. I'm going to use my hands. All right? Check it out. So Bitcoin, right? Check it out. Bitcoin, it gets mined. All right? Amazing. Now, so you have 10 computers on the network mining. Great, right? And the difficulty rate is where it's at. Then more and more people get on and it becomes more and more profitable and everyone's running and it's like, yeah. And then more and more people. Next thing you know, it's a little saturated. Everyone is on there in mining. And what happens is the difficulty rate will adjust and get far more difficult. What it will do is it'll shred through the people that don't have the computing power. Maybe you have 15 mines running, the only guy has 1 or 2. He stops making enough money because the difficulty level isn't enough and he has to back out. He starts backing out. People start falling off. And what that does is what? It opens up the network again, right? It's not as congested. It's not as many people. It's sad. You want as many people on the network as possible mining. But what it does is it opens it back up. What happens is the difficulty level eventually adjusts and comes back down. And then the little guy sees that, jumps back in and runs. And it's a cycle that continues, making it consistently profitable for people to mine Bitcoin because of this constant up and down of the difficulty rate. It is supposed to happen. It is good. It's not the worst thing in the world. The way they write this article is just, it's putting a pressing on how many people can mine. And so they're like, oh, but to me, it's part of a healthy network and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. That's kind of what we're talking about here for Bitcoin. All right. We'll get out of the chamber, the explanation chamber. We'll get back into the charts. All right. So DXY starting to dump, which is really beautiful. This is what we needed. Look at that. Look at the dump in the dollar index. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Show me the money, baby. Break this resistance. Break this support line here. Continue to dump. And look, we have a go sign on the 1 hour time frame. That looks like a recovery for Bitcoin, in my humble opinion. Low prices for Bitcoin. That was a Bitcoin cash grab. Every time it goes below 19,000, it's like it seems to be a steal of a steal, right? And look, we've ripped all the way back up to 18,800, and we are doing this insane V-shaped recovery here. Back to the upside. This is amazing. Back to 18,008. Can we rip all the way back up? I'm looking at Bookmap here because this was a massive short squeeze. However, it may just be cleaning up the last remainers. The last people who jumped into the shorts at the end, it's probably just grabbing those stop losses. In my opinion, we could go lower. I'd be careful of the volatility. I wouldn't just, short immediately because this is going up or long immediately because, I'd be very, very careful with today's price action. Okay? I'm on the sidelines watching, right? Just kind of waiting for things to play out. I'm not going to overpost again today. No reason, no point, you know? So. But wow, we would rip all the way back up to 18,800. We would defy this bear flag, which is beautiful. And we would rip to the upside out of this nice little, you know, pennant. I'm just curious. And look, in ES1, what it does is it rips back inside the pattern, which to me now makes the pattern, as insane as this is, this pattern is now, you know, legit. However, look at the 12-hour, the 2-hour pointing down now, like getting a bearish cross. It's just getting so many mixed signals. It's ridiculous. But look at this. We almost gave everything. We almost got every single thing back on the S&P that we lost on the morning. They're shredding leverage traders and anyone who's deciding to trade on this data. And we all said it was going to be treacherous. I told you to be careful. They asked me on Frankie Candles yesterday. I say it gives me no edge. I say I stay away. I stay away from this type of stuff. Thank you so much for that super chat or that subscriber. Thank you so much for the love. Appreciate you for jumping on in. And thank you to everyone that showed up today. I appreciate all 800 people on the live stream. 600 likes in the live. Everyone, we got to get the likes up to the watchers. It's you people that got us to 1,000 people. It's you people that get. Today, me, Kevin, had 9,000, right? That's only 9 times what we have, or, you know, maybe 12 times what we have on a regular basis. That's not that far. We can achieve that. We can continue to grow. I have such big hopes and dreams for this channel and for you and me. In 2-3 years from now, oh my gosh, we're going to be in such an amazing place. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every single one of you beautiful people for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. And look, now we're breaking out to the upside. This is insane. The measured move for the S&P would be 37. And the insanity to see this insanity right now, and Bitcoin's this is front running Bitcoin. We're ripping back. That's a bullish engulfing candle. Absolute rip to the upside. This is insane. And we'll watch the 1 hour rip back to the upside here. Is there a little Babadoo? Babadoo! Babadoo-doo! Hi, Babadoo. Be careful. What? What are you saying, Bob? Mama. Where you going?
Oh, she's taking you upstairs.
Oh, she wants me to go. She's trying to take me places. Lately, she grabs your hand and she just takes you places. I feel so bad not to go with her. Bob.
Okay, let's go. Let's take the bottle.
Throw that in the trash, baby. Go throw that in the trash for Dada.
On.
I love you. Sorry, everyone. Just had to tell my kid I love her. Just had to tell my kid I love her, all right? Gosh forbids. So let's take a look at Bookmap here. What's happened? I thought we would have seen a bunch of liquidities, you know? I didn't have it running, so you got to have it running to see the liquidations. There they go, though. So, look, they're still squeezing the shorts here. Insanity. Look at that. 17,000 in short liquidations right there. And they're ripping back to 19K. This is crazy. So they could have used the data to scare everybody out of their minds. But we are at resistance here on the S&P now. And I bet the 50-minute spent. And it's getting there. It says we have a little more juice, man. 7 minutes spent, though. We're at resistance for the S&P, 3630. We got to get back above this. But we got above the POC. So now it's all about the point of control. Can we hold the point of control? Can we stay above the point of control? And honestly, 18,800 is a significant area of support and resistance. If we can hold 18.8, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. All right. Pretty insane, though, right? This is insane. This is insane price action. All right. But I hope I got you through it nice and neat. Gave you a little bit of a science behind it. You could see what happened. So it wasn't just like, oh, a random line. So you can kind of get a sense of control here. I'll eventually put it in some sense, some structure, some foundation of technical analysis that will give you some breathing room, right? So look, let's just continue these flags in the 1 hour just like we continued the flag the other way now. Same situation. And now can we pump to the upside? The 1 hour suggests we will all the way back to 19,350. That would be insane. If we take back the point of control, if we take back the weekly support of resistance, it'll be completely insanity. Bookmap suggests we get a massive sell-off at 89 and we don't get any higher. But that's what it says for now. You know, let's just let it play out. Anything is possible. Struggling right now. I wouldn't trade anything right now, everybody. I would just watch the market, let it play out till tonight, see what happens, and we go from there. All right. You can scan the market for flags and such, right? Falcon just continues to bang, which is interesting. Falcon swap. It's always one doing some type of damage. Look, there's always one. And then AGIX. We had the AGIX in the cup and handle too. See this? My team had it. I had it. Even hidden bullish divergence there on the daily time frame, if I remember correctly. See that? Pretty interesting. That thing is the biggest gainer of the day. Sammy Cup and Hattie would have privied you to that move. Bang, 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 all the way to the upside. And then Phoenix Dow, a coin that I've been going over a lot lately and has been on my radar. It's funny, right? I went over Phoenix Dow and I put it on my radar. We were up already on it and it continues to rip. I mean, for whatever reason. I had it in this flag. It would dolphin dip down, but then rip back up to the upside again. Today, it was a big gainer, 21% for Phoenix Dow. I'm not saying I hit the gain. I want to make that clear. Like, I put it out. I mean, I did put it out like 5 to 6 days ago. So if anyone was, they decided to stay in it, and I wouldn't have. That would have been crazy. But I was looking at this flag. I had no idea it would move like that. Like, unpredictable ideas, right? The short for Ape just continued to rip to the upside too as well. People like to short Ape. Ape short banged on you. So, like, once I put out a flag for Bitcoin, it's really whatever short you want. They're all going to do the same thing. Like, they all were in this flag, and they ripped to the upside. You see? And now they're dumping. And that's why people forget to take profits. They get pounded, The Doge short would come a little lower, never really hit that stop loss. You see that? And continue to rip to the upside. I was talking about the Doge short for a while. The dot short. When did I put out that dot? I like to short dot when Bitcoin dumps. That's like my go-to short for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it just is. So here on 10.5, I'm putting out the dot short. Dot is in a slight profit here, but the 4 hour has room to move. And I'm showing you that there's likelihood that the dot short could continue up, right? I mean, it's been open for days now. It would come up, come down, come up, come down. And then, fall out of the pattern, come back down. But this thing would just continue to rip. The dot short. The phantom short. I had privy here. Never hit the stop loss. Continued up. Look at that. See that? Now, when I put this out, I wasn't privy to the next move. This is an older trade that I put out, and it was up minimally. But it would continue to rip. Then it would make a flag. What I want to teach you is how to be able to do these things yourself. Like, all right, I put out phantom short, but then you can continue with the TA. You can continue with the DA. Yeah, DXY is dumping, and this is what we want, and this is what we need, and this is what I've been talking about. And right now, the 1 hour is about to lay it on us. Honestly, the bottom could be in for Bitcoin right now on that 18. That could have been the best buying opportunity. I could have been $800 away from the best buying opportunity. We don't know. We're going to see. We're going to go from there. But what I did do is I put myself publicly out there. Name a YouTuber that bought a Bitcoin live. Yes, to the last few days. I mean, right? It is what it is. I mean, I know one. Crypto Lifer. Stupid. Sorry. Corny. Anyway, so for me now, I mean, the S&P's got to hold this point of control at 36. It's got to hold the bottom of this channel at 35.95. If it breaks this, it's just, we're back in the same idea. Everything's just right back into the same concept, But so far, we have defended the zone. The dollar doesn't look like it can continue to pump, and so we're going to watch this very, very closely. All right? I'm an ADA and XRP short. Nice. Join the Discord. All those videos are in there. Yep. Do you feel like Bitcoin is in a Sammy Cup and Hattie? I know it looks kind of gnarly. Wind's changing. Got to go out sailing. Much love. Peace. We'll be listening. Shout out to my man who sails. God bless you for going out sailing. Sailing, one of my greatest pastimes. I'm like an hour away to get into a sailboat. Maybe not if I really put my efforts into it. Are there any new projects you are bullish on, concept-wise? I mean, at the present moment, I'll start doing that in another time. I really like erratics, honestly. But honestly, I don't do my heavy deep dives right now. I'm more focused on accumulating Bitcoin, looking for bottoms, Algo, Bitcoin, Cup, and Hattie. Thank you for the Algo Super Chat. Thank you for the Bitcoin. Thank you for the Super Chats. $18.97 in Super Chats. You people are unbelievable. Thank you for the blessings. May God bless each and every one of you for being here. So, someone asked about, is Bitcoin in a cup and handle? All right. I mean, what a V-shaped recovery that was today. All the way back to 18,009. Looks like we are, and the look at the dollar looks like it's continuing to dump. So, yes, we're high in the 15-minute, but look, the 1 hour is just getting started here. And when the 1 hour pumps that hard, and you take care of those, I mean, usually you're going to continue up. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a bear fake out, some type of bear trap here, trapping all the bears, and we are going to rip up here somewhere out of this pattern at 20,400 area, I'm telling you, man, there's huge divergence on the daily, and we didn't go lower than that divergence. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I just erased all my old work. We're going to start fresh, and that's a lot of work. But don't worry, I recreate it all the time. I'll be on Around the Blockchain today. They'll probably ask me about the charts. We'll go over it. We'll talk about it. I'll have some things that I can cook up and show you. But look, when that is the low, that usually a candle never goes lower than that. Fine, we capitulated wick there, but look how fast it got bought back up. On the daily time frame too, which is very interesting. That's a very bullish sign. If that can stay like this and close in the daily, I mean, that's huge buy pressure to the upside. That's a buy wick like you've never believed. And at the end of the day, this is a falling wedge. We're back inside the wedge. If we can stay on the wedge, so be it. And we can break up to the upside here. He said, is this a cup and handle? I think this is what he's talking about. And it resembles definitely a slight Sammy cup and handy for sure. And I was talking about this idea. Is it a cup and handle? I mean, one. Remember what I said yesterday on Sammy, on who here watched Frankie Candle's episodes with me and Frankie? People said it was one of the best episodes they ever saw. They absolutely loved it. And, you know, wow, I got 4,400 views, man. Unbelievable. Great episode. Absolutely amazing. Shout out to having me on the channel. That's really awesome. So, look, I mean, the measured move here is 21,800 if this cup and handle does break to the upside. You see that? And this bigger pattern hasn't changed. If anything, we defended the lows. We should have, honestly, I was okay if we went all the way to the bottom of the channel here and bounced, because then we could have bounced up and then we still could have broken out of the falling wedge. To me, the measured move is lane to lane. That's what I do algorithmically. And that just takes you back to the resistance point. So to me, nothing has completely changed. You know, we're still okay. We're still okay. One thing I also want to do here that I haven't done yet is look at this. I mean, you could almost say we're starting some type of trend here. Sad to say it's another chubby triangle, which they're not my favorite, right? And there you have it. And you can see how quickly I make it kind of, you know, it feels messy, right? I mean, I add a lot so fast. But this is something that is definitely worth looking at, and it's viable. You know, not everyone has to agree with it, but if I see it, I see it. Measured move is somewhere back into the same region again, this range, 20,400 to 20,005 area. And the measured move to the downside, same scenario. Because it's a symmetrical triangle, which breaks up or down. You're looking at 13,800, all right? So I'm not saying we can't go lower. Just kind of playing it level by level, right? Can we get back above this point of control? The 1 hour suggests we will. The 1 hour suggests we will. The 15-minute is going to get overbought soon, and you're going to have to see, you know, it's going to get pressed. Here's where, you know, we're going to have to either make a flag here, and when this resets, we're going to have to continue to the upside. And this is what's going to really see if we continue. We're going to need a continuation pattern on the 15-minute, or we're just going to continue to floor, and just shred the shorts. I mean, you can see 102,000, 48,000. So, yeah, shorts are getting liquidated like butter on a pan. They're getting melted faster than a candle, baby. Like, they're getting shredded right now for sure. 18,950. That's why you don't get late to the short party. These are people who are late to the short party, or people who just, some of these are in profit. Actually, no, these are all liquidations, so none of these are in profit. These are all people who are getting absolutely liquidated. I forgot that. I forgot it was limit orders getting hit, but it's not. And look at the cumulative volume delta here, the CVD, showing you how fast these people are getting liquidated, how much volume's coming in at those present moments in time. I mean, yikes. And it looks like we're going to get shredded. Now the liquidity's gone. Bitcoin's going to do whatever it wants. You can see easily there's more heat up here. 19,500, suggesting we will claim that area back at 19,000. So they just went and got all the people who were trading down at 18,005. They nailed them out. And maybe they're going to come back on again. Like mantequilla on a hot tortilla. Like mantequilla on a hot tortilla. Ay, 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 ay. I love that. Like mantequilla on a hot tortilla. Ay, ay, ay. So look, V-shaped recovery. Can we make a right shoulder here? Kind of a shoulder ahead. Funky right shoulder to the upside. Can we get above 19,000 again? This would be absolutely ridiculous. If you told me that as I went live, we would pump back up to 19K, I would tell you were out of your mind. Who cannot believe this price action? Who here watching cannot believe this insane price action right now? Absolutely absurd, right? And you can see why I said I would sit on the sidelines and I would wait. Look at this, $217,000 in liquidations, 20,000 in long liquidations. They're just liquidating whoever wants to put their money on the table. Why did you sell your Bitcoin at 18.5? I did not sell Bitcoin at 18.5. That's ridiculous.
I was in a leverage trade that had nothing to do with the Bitcoin trade. All right. My trade's still open. My trade is still open. I guess I got to show it now, but my trade is still open. I'm building a quant trade. All right, that's down $3. And look, here's my Bitcoin trade. It's down 1.95%. Oh, no. All right. I want to show the money, but then I show all the money. It's kind of rude. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to show the money anyway. So. Have you played PHNX? No, but I actually like it. And I know what it is. It's the horse racing thing. And I'm into it. And I do like PHNX. It was on my radar before. It's funny you bring it up. It was something I was definitely researching. It's going to be huge, though. How big? I mean, you know, I don't know if it's Unreal Engine. So right now we're going to watch to see if this 15-minute can hold the flag. If not, it could break right back down. And we could lose all this again. On a volatile day like this, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose all this back again. We'll be looking at ES1, the S&P futures, which must stay back above the zone and back above, hopefully. So the same thing. I mean, but look at the 1 hour just getting started. Suggests that we're going to be, this suggests, because of so much momentum here and the lack of bearish, that we are going to get a pump. And look at the buy pressure in there. The big money stepped in and bought in. And I believe with the world markets, they're going to start putting that money printer on. Something's going to happen in the background. They're going to have to do something. I don't know what they're going to do, but it doesn't look like they can continue the way they were going. This does one of two things. It scares people into 1 point rate hike. But what if it also says this? It says the rate hikes weren't doing anything. Maybe they'll stop doing it. Like they went as hard as they could with 0.75 and didn't do anything. They keep extending it. It's not doing anything. You know. What time is the meeting? I thought it was 8 o'clock, you know. Everyone, today we have weekly screen share. Today, what a great day for weekly screen share. If you pay to be in my private trading group, we have weekly screen share today. It is on Zoom. Get yourself a Zoom. All right, so weekly screen share from 6 to 8:30. I'll try to like 6:15. (6:15 to 8:15). 2 hour long weekly screen share tonight. And it's private to all my Zooms. Private tonight on Zoom. Weekly screen share from 6:15 to 8:15 p.m. tonight on Zoom. I will see you all there. I can't wait. It'll be awesome. Once a week, we do a weekly screen share. 4 times a week, you get an extra 8 hours of the lifer if you join the Discord. All right, we talk about reprogramming the subconscious mind. We talk about working for success. We talk about just going after your dreams, hopes, and desires, setting goals, making it real. We talk about discipline, dedication, desire, and determination, the 4 Ds. And we also go over the markets. I also use my Token Metrics account just to go over Token Metrics because it also costs $90 a month. Why don't I just throw in as much value as I can? So that's what I do. All right, now we have support at 18,660. Can we hold? And we have support here at about 18,264. We've gotten a bit of a bounce off these areas. Can we hold the zone? I'm watching this flag on the 15-minute. That's going to tell us where Bitcoin is likely going to go, okay? Bro, I'm watching you every night from PH. Man, I love you. God bless you for watching me every night because you put in that work. You have that algorithm put in the work. Screen shares are worth $100 a month. Shout out to Kyle Stanfield, my man. May God bless you. Just means rate hikes are going higher. A black swan would cause the printers to come back on. If you clicked and came to the stream and you have your eyes on his mic, right under that is the like button. You guys are funny, man. Thank you so much for the love. Algo holding the 30-cent mark. Someone asking about Algo. How many super chats came in? We got a super chat for algorithm. And we did look at that cup and handle on Bitcoin. Kind of have it drawn here on the daily time frame. So look, I mean, that daily bullish divergence hasn't been negated. We never went lower than it. So it tells you that you never should go lower than the divergence. So far, so good. Honestly, as crazy as it's been, so far, so good. 18,900
is not that bad. It's actually a beautiful buying opportunity. They use this fear. I believe they use this data now to buy Bitcoin on the low, like to kind of rattle the markets and get prices where they want. The weekly bullish divergence is still intact here. Swing down to swing down. Nothing has changed there. Swing up to swing up. So, my bigger time frame ideas are still here. The reason why I bought that Bitcoin is still intact. And we're going to go from there. We're going to watch this 15-minute time frame and see if this flag can stay whole. If it doesn't, however, I like what this S&P is giving us. The S&P is showing me signs of life. It really is. But we'll take it one step at a time and one level at a time. Bitcoin must hold these zones. All right. Thank you so much for the subscription. Much love to you and yours. God bless you for jumping on into the live today. Everybody, I appreciate you all for being here. May God bless you for being crypto lifers, man. We need more lifers every single day to spread throughout the world, to change the world. So hit that like button. It's more than me. It really is more than me. I may be the front man. I may be the hype guy, right? But at the end of the day, it's more than me, and we're a family here. All right. Have you ever looked at Exceed Me, right? Low liquidity, but I find it in this funny falling wedge here. Definitely wants to make bacon on the beach. Exceed Me is on the radar for me. 4 hour needs to come on down. It's doing its thing, but it's above a point of control. If Exceed Me can stay above this zone or this point of control and hold, I could see this thing doing some damage out of the falling wedge. Up 20% gains for Exceed Me. There's a beautiful cup and handle for it too as well. So just that is a cup and handle if anyone wants to know. I mean, that's textbook cup and handle status with supportive resistance at certain areas. Interesting. Take a look at our daily. Coming on down. 4 hour, 2 hour ready. 1 hour's looping. Interesting. Exceed Me is on the radar. One of the few coins that I may play on the radar today. Exceed Me. Interesting. Don't exceed me. Formation Phi holding the zone pretty well compared to the rest of the coins. And then we'll do our coin market cap dip. Coin market cap. Let's take a look here. All the coins. I want to see if there's anything. And we were talking about this yesterday. So ENS is hot, up 1% today. Ethereum Classic is hot, up 4% in the last hour. In 24 hours, we want to see if anything's hot. ENS. EGLD holding 52. Lido DAO actually up a little bit. Someone asked about that yesterday on the live. Synthetics and Cosmos and Atom and Near. So these are the usual suspects still holding the zone. So we look at ENS. It's funny. I had a play out for ENS, and look at that. Like I said, the S&P could go higher. It did. I really like to see it breaking through this. 3,700 was a big deal for me. If it can get back above this resistance, that's going to be huge. I did not expect a V-shaped recovery of this nature. This is magnanimous. This is great. I don't see why Bitcoin can't get back to 19,003, back above its POC. And remember how important that weekly support is. I kept saying, if it can just close the weekly candle above 19,300, we're going to be in good shape. That's all that matters, right? And honestly, what a hectic day. But I felt like the stream was pretty fun to be on. I felt awesome. You guys were great. The comments came in. Super chats coming in. People sharing their love, sharing their ideas. I really appreciate it. May God bless you and yours. Let's get back to that Twitter that I asked about. Funny the things you see on Twitter that you don't even want to pay attention to, right? Enjoy you on Frankie's show last night. Love the positivity. That's super nice. May God bless you. I retweeted that for sure. You're the man. Very nice of you for saying that. Does this dump make you scared or happy to buy more? 37 different responses. Buying a little bit here. I like it. More. Lots more. I love it. I felt scared and happy at the same time. I like that, being honest. I've been hitting my limit orders as I sleep. I still have a bunch of limit orders to hit. Dry powder on the side, ready for Black Friday sale prices on my favorite cryptos. Shout out to K-Dub doing what he does the best. Buy more. Purchase orders set all the way to 13K on to the off chance a candle wick. All good over here. Shout out to the crypto warehouse. People just chilling. Happy as, wow. The lower, the better, man. They can't scare us. They must be so afraid of the masses. Like, they try to flush us out, and we just keep loving it. Happy because this means better value for my dirty fiat. Happy picked up some groceries called Bitcoin, ADA, XRP, Algo, Gala, and H-Bar. My man. Grateful to whoever dumped Bitcoin. Triggered one of my buy orders. Be prepared. Set your limits. Act accordingly. Sean Jeffrey. Dude, this is like a definitely a retweet you want to be in. Happy to see the new lows and buy more. More pain to come, but happy because I'm short. I love this dude. Maybe it sounds bad, but I don't want the carnage to end. This is my one short shot at getting assets on the cheap, and I want more time to average in at these prices. Hey, man, I know how that feels. Look at this guy. I think there's going to be something. Look at this. He put the Thor hair and beard on both of us, man. Frankie Legend, you're the man, dude. Hilarious. Oh, my gosh. That's funny, man. I got to retweet that and quote Frankie in there. I said, you seen this, Frankie? You know what I'm saying? That's hilarious. Ran out of fiat on June 18th, so I can't buy more. Still sitting and waiting. Okay. But at least you were jumping in for joy. Keep dropping, buying. Embrace the last time to get Bitcoin this cheap. Wow, we got a smart group of people here. Emotion is the enemy, but statistics are our friend. We are the composite man. The enemy of the enemy is my friend. Never scared, only studious and hyper observant. What would be scary is if the Bitcoin started arbitrarily printing more coins, say 40% a year or so, right? Like the dollar. I love what he just said. Wow, that's a really good point. Buying more, always prepared. I accept it. Bullish tendencies, will be buying. Neither. It's not that big of a dump. I will buy more. Well packed with an average of 19,000 at the moment. Wow. Stacked, of course, but you need to stack. Wow. Buy more. Watching close. If a dip doesn't make you interested in buying, then what's the point of any of this? My man. Dude. More. I love this. More. Sell nerds. I like cheap crypto. Happy to launch Hova at a lower price. You're funny. Happy. Wow. I mean, I'm amazed by those responses. You guys blew my mind. That was so fun. I want to do more of these. Does this dump make you scared or happy to buy more? Unbelievable. Shout out to everyone on Twitter. On our way to 9,000 Twitter followers. Continue to jump on in. I greatly appreciate that. Twitter is bumping and running. Love Twitter. Having a lot of fun with Twitter because nowhere else can you get these fast responses, interact with your community, and really get some feedback. And I love it. Look, more coming in. I'll check it later. We will, and again, if you get on Twitter, we're gonna put your name here on the screen right here, right? KDub, it's TD, Crypto Warehouse. Get your 5 seconds of fame. But I mean, it's cool, man. We like representing everyone that represents. So we love you. Thank you for being here. Man, I'm sorry about that. God bless you and yours too. Shout out to you, Crypto Marsh, Chocolate Bar in the future for sure. And everyone, if you're out there and you love Sin City Crypto, you love all your YouTubers, and you want to support us. Look, we got a store here. Come buy a hoodie. Come and get it. Look, I'm going to talk about it every day here. We got hoodies here at the crib, ready to go. This hoodie is beautiful. I like this hoodie because it's thin. It makes my arms look jacked and diesel, but you still feel comfy. Nice fall wear. Nice thing to watch during the game while you're sitting on the couch with your kids. You know what I'm saying? This thing is awesome. Crypto Lifer, let the world know you're a Crypto Lifer today. You're blasting off to the moon in a spaceship. I love you all. Thank you so much. Get yourself a patch. Get yourself a keychain. Whatever makes you happy, windbreaker. And of course, we got the mugs for you. Who could have forgot? We got the Lifer lemon jar for 10 beans. Jump on in and get your Lifer lemon jar today. Even with the lemons in the background, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Shout out to my team for that beautiful artwork. You people are amazing. So look, Formation Phi is a strong coin that's continuing to stay in the zone. If something's gonna pop, it's gonna be Formation Phi because look, it's despite the Bitcoin dump, it did not dump at all. So Formation Phi on the radar. For either sideways ideas or possible gains. I mean, it's showing high strength compared to the rest of the market. So again, when Bitcoin dumps, we tend to find what didn't dump, and you can find strength in the market on a Bitcoin dump day. It's actually a good day to look for things. I can teach you that too as well. So instead of getting all up, people get down on themselves, I can teach you great days to find bargains in the market or to find things that are strong. Let's take a look at ENS, which I actually had a setup on. Let's take a look at Ethereum name service. All right. And see, look, I had it in this tight channel for a long time. It's up 21%. The only coin that actually banged on them today, regardless of the entire market. And it was in this little flag that would eventually slump. But ENS, Ethereum name service. Interesting. It's all about drawing, the patterns whenever you see them, right? My team even had it in the flag earlier. But look at me, ENS. And I mean, it was a long time ago when I put this out. On September 15th, I'm putting this out. But look, it never hit the stop loss. It's kind of crazy. Look, it never hit the stop. Like if your stop loss lower than this, it never hit that stop loss. So it took a month. But it played out eventually. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. But it eventually played out. Without the stop would have been lower than this, low, because that's where I do it. Stop loss never got hit. This thing would continue up 21% and actually be the strongest coin today, which is fascinating to me. Really fascinating. I'll keep a look at this. We'll look at it again. Another way to look at ENS was this way. I mean, you can see that it's clearly in a bull pennant here too. I mean, bullish, which is, you know, people can't, maybe, you know, you can only get so many Ethereum name servers. You know, maybe it's, you know, they're realizing they're running out. Something like that. I don't know. I'll look into this. But this is strong and looks like it's going to continue to the upside. It's got a measured move all the way to 26. It may take another month, but I mean, it didn't lose. I like an asset that's not losing in a bear market. That's ENS. I'll show you another asset that's not losing in a bear market. It's Cake. And if you're going to find a gem, you're going to find it here. I'm going to go through the markets obsessively. I'm going to sniff it out. Cake fell through all the way. I wanted that retest to hold. However, Cake was 360 a month and a half ago. Cake is 430. Cake is continuing to hold its own against the markets. All right, so I guess, yes, it's back in the zone again. I'll have to rework this pattern. I mean, it's sad what it did. Cake lost the sauce. We'll rework it. We'll take a look. Right now, I focus on Bitcoin for the day. I look at a few gems here and there, but there's no over trading. We're still in volatility. Look, still getting rejected by 36.67, coming back around. It's not all glory time yet, right? The 15-minute is going to have to find a flag here. So you flag out the 15-minute on the ES1, you flag out the 15-minute on Bitcoin, and that's really what we look for. And we want to see the dollar continue to dump here. We look at the 1 minute. We want to see bear flags. We don't want to see that's an inverted head and shoulder there on the 1 minute. We want to see this get negated. We want to see this bust to the downside. We want to see this continue to dump. I'll keep you privy to what's happening. You'll get an update in a couple hours for Bitcoin. If not less, you'll get another update. And we have a weekly screen share for an entire 2 hours tonight. What a great day to have a weekly screen share. I would join the group today just to be in the screen share. Just to be privy to what we break down and what happens. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. We'll take a look at Bitcoin one last time before I jump on out of here for the day. But I really appreciate it. I love the energy. I love the movement. I love the feeling. You guys got me rocking and rolling today. I'm loving it. Right now we are consolidating, which is beautiful. Can we consolidate back above 19K is the question. We did hold the zone and we're back above 18,800. So I'm watching this 15-minute and I want to see this 15-minute stay in this flag. And even though when we reset in the stochastics RSI, I don't want to give this back up. I want to see Bitcoin stay in a flag. If that happens, the 1 hour momentum will continue and we can get back above the zone. I want to recapture this point of control at 19,100. It's all about the POC. We can't get above it. We dabble again. Expect more downside. We can short it again the same way. However, let's wait for that confirmation. I want to see if we can get above it. We could long back up to the top of the pattern. All right. You don't have to do either. You can actually watch, wait for dust to settle, and then trade Saturday, Friday, or any other day. So, and don't do anything. I say. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. So right now I am watching the 15-minute flag. If we can stay on the flag, it's going to give us and keep us privy to the next move. Everyone, and we could short squeeze and continue to the upside. That's also a possibility, right? That's also a possibility. We will see. Right now, we are short squeezing 13,000, and we do see more liquidity here than there. The heat map is attempting to bring us up to 19,250, 19,500 area. That would be absolutely lovely. I would welcome that. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so you can find out when we post our next video. If you're motivated, if you're ready, if you like watching me every single day without days off. All your favorite YouTubers took a day off. It's okay. I still love them. But we did not. We're here on Christmas. We're here on Thanksgiving. My wife was giving birth. I was in the hospital getting it in. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here. I love you all. Thank you so much for coming. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when we post our next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Crypto is life. I'll see you on the next live stream tomorrow at 10 a.m. Ready to bang, 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 ready to go. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Stay safe. Peace.